Welcome to What's Your Arena, a podcast where we believe that the best long-term investment you can make in your personal and professional success is to practice self-care. I'm your host, Ashley Vogler. So how do you raise children to have a healthy body image? This was the question that I posed to our guest today, Liz Ronick. You might remember Liz from our earlier interviews, how a mother of two went from 150 pounds overweight to a bodybuilding competitor, and what no one tells you about extreme weight loss. If you haven't listened to those yet, I highly suggest you hit pause and go back and listen to them. So Liz has based her career around fitness, weight loss, and empowering women to make changes in their lives. But how does she prevent her daughters from taking that message too far, to the point of being overly self-conscious or obsessed with it? I was especially interested in Liz's answer because not only is she a fitness coach and bodybuilder, but she's also recently experienced just this whirlwind of media attention, which included appearing on the cover of People magazine. So this is officially your third appearance on the show, which is really exciting. So you're basically a and I highly suggest that people go back and re-listen to those episodes, those older episodes. But just for a quick recap, would you mind just kind of giving a little bit of background about you and your story?
Absolutely. So I have fought obesity for the first 25 years of my life. I was going to Weight Watchers at the age of 8. By the time I was a sophomore in college, I had reached 300 pounds. And so disconnected with my body that my body went through a whole pregnancy without even knowing it, and found out the day before and delivered a baby. And after having her, I realized that I needed to make a change for my life and decided to lose half my body weight and got certified in personal training, nutritional therapy. And now I'm helping others improve their life with health and happiness.
You've had some pretty incredible opportunities since the last time we talked. So would you mind kind of giving a rundown of what you've been doing recently?
Yeah, absolutely. So it started in November. People magazine called me to be a part of their Half Their Size edition, which came out in January. When it came out, Good Morning America called myself and Keisha to New York City. So we went to Good Morning America for when the magazine was released. And we also did Inside Edition and E-News that same day, as well as People Now, which is like their face-to-face interview stuff. And then the beginning of February, we went to Nashville and we did the Pickler and Ben show. And then we were told when we were in Nashville that we're going to be on the cover of another People magazine, a bookazine that's going to be coming out March 1st.
Has it kind of gotten a little bit easier to tell your story, or is it still kind of weird that all of these opportunities have come about, or is it just like kind of normal now?
It's weird because it's not weird. Because I guess I'm so used to sharing my story because my ultimate desire to just help inspire and empower other people to do the same. But it's weird because it's like it's on a whole nother level, but it doesn't feel any different.
What about your daughters? Is it kind of weird for them, or is it just kind of like another day in the office?
Yes, I was like, look, there's mom on TV. They're like, oh, okay. Like, are you serious? They're like, yeah. So what they're more worried about, or what they're asking about, is who did I get to meet when I was up there? So when I went for Good Morning America, I saw Michael Strahan, and I called my daughter after I got off the stage, and she's like, so she didn't even ask me about how anything went. She's like, did you see Michael? And I said, yes. She goes, did you take a picture? I said, yes, I'll send you a picture. So we have priorities, and it's not mom.
So how old are they now?
I have a 13-year-old and a 4-year-old.
So if you could go back in time and like talk to your past self when you were your daughter's age, like what would you say to yourself, or your 13-year-old self?
That everybody's opinion of you doesn't matter. Your opinion of you is the most important, and it is imperative that you value yourself and your body, because your body that's your home while you're here. And so you have to make sure to cherish it as well as take care of it.
So having daughters that are looking up to you and like paying attention to you and like kind of maybe you start to see them like modeling some of your behaviors, like how has that impacted the way that you like talk to about yourself and to yourself?
It actually, at first, when I was preparing for my first bodybuilding competition, it became more of an obsession than like a hobby. And it was more about what wasn't looking good on me versus where I was excelling. And that rubbed off, especially on my 13-year-old, where she started to look at her body and criticize it instead of look at it and pick out the good things that she had going on. And so as soon as that clicked in my head and I saw how she was doing that, and I already knew where it came from, because she's grown up in bodybuilding all the way. I mean, she goes to all the shows with me because I'm working at them. And so to be able to have that conversation with her, yes, there are things that we can want to improve with our body, but that doesn't mean that we're not perfectly okay where we are right now.
Do you think that she'll get into bodybuilding?
No. She likes food way too much. And I mean, I guess I love food a lot too, but I think actually she might, because it's like a challenge, and she has built it's like our second family. So maybe she will. I don't know, but it wouldn't be because I told her to, because if I told her, she'd be like, "No, Mom, not doing it."
So, I mean, how do you kind of spoke about this a little bit before, but like, how do you balance, like, find that line between saying, like, it's okay, like, you're okay exactly how you are, like, you have worth, like, you are, you have a lot of value, yet at the same time, like, if you do want to make some changes to, like, your lifestyle, like, you can do it. Like, how do you empower someone while also letting them know that they're okay? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you asked, because that is why I started Misfit Boss, because there are so many different diets. There are so many different fitness plans. And I've probably tried 99% of them. But where the shift was with me, it was even after I competed. I still hadn't made the mindset shift. And so with Misfit Boss, what we do is we dig deep into how awesome we are and why we want to reach our fitness and health goals. So what happens is we make a shift in the way that we look at ourselves, and then realize that we're doing it not because we don't like the way we look or because we ate something bad, so we're going to go spend an hour on the treadmill. It's because we value our body, and for us to be able to be productive in life, we need to have a healthy body. So it's like going to the gym is an opportunity, and not everybody can do it. So we should not take advantage of it.
What is kind of instilling that mindset with your daughter kind of look like on a day-to-day basis, and like the things that you guys do together and the way you talk to her?
We have to not continually. I find herself looking at herself in the mirror all the time, which I know that's a 13-year-old thing. But when I hear her say something negative about her body, I have to correct her. And I don't know that yet she believes me, but I know that the more I continue to help her fix her self-talk, that it will become a habit, and it will become her own self-talk instead of her mom talk.
That makes sense. Do you have any advice for parents out there who like want their children to grow up with a positive body image?
Absolutely. Never have a bad food. No food is bad. Everything in moderation is good. Encouraging activity, not saying that, oh, you're overweight, so you need to go do this, but encouraging them to find something that they like to be active, and just always helping them to talk positively about themselves, even when they don't see it. just continuing to, I say hammer it in because it sounds kind of bad, but we as adults have to do it because we've programmed our brains to talk just to be critical. And so it's like a reverse thing. So if we can catch them before they've made that a habit, then it's life changing, and they won't have to go through all of that low self-esteem, not feeling valued, and that's going to affect everything from their relationships to how they interact at school, how they think they're going to do on a test. Just having that confidence.
So one thing that I'm sure, I mean, I'm not a parent, but I think that one of the hardest things has to be kind of the rules and boundaries you set around social media, just because, especially with a young girl and body image and all of this, like I'm kind of curious what that looks like for you and your daughter's relationship, of how you guys approach social media.
Yeah. So social media is big, and my daughter loves it. I have access to her account, and I also obviously have access to her phone. So we can scroll through and see who she's following, who's following her. And I'll sit there and watch her scroll through. And what excites me is, and I challenge her to do this, is to go through and find people on Instagram that actually inspire her. So what she's ended up doing is following a lot of people that do dancing. I don't know. They have all these crazy dances, and they get in front of the window and they do this. What is it, Musically now? I don't know. They're doing dance videos all the time, which is fine with me because it's not like they're doing anything bad. They're being active and they're having fun. So just first of all, allowing them to know that you trust them, in addition to encouraging them to find positive in what they have access to.
So just tell a little bit, I know you kind of mentioned a little bit about Misfit Boss, but if you want to kind of give a little bit more about the business and kind of how people can find out more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Misfit Boss, the website is www.misfitboss.com. So it's MISSFITBOSS. And what I would love for people to do if they're having any challenges or if they just want to reach out is jump on there. There's a place where you can reach out to me, or you can just go on Instagram. You know, we're talking about social media. Instagram, Facebook is at the Misfit Boss, because my ultimate goal is to just help to motivate, inspire, and improve our overall happy, healthy living.
So I personally don't have kids yet, but this is still a topic that I've discussed with my husband as we think about starting a family someday. So we want to encourage our kids to make positive choices and pursue big dreams, while also making it clear to them that none of those achievements add or subtract from their inherent worth. And I know this is going to be a really difficult tightrope act to pull off, so I'm really grateful to learn from examples of parents like Liz. But as Liz pointed out, so much of that starts with working on yourself first. You can encourage and build up your kids all day, but if you run down yourself and speak poorly about your own body, that is going to be the message that speaks the loudest. For those of you who've been following the podcast so far this month, you'll know our theme is motivation. So many of us want to tone up or lose weight, but do we really know why? Is this something that we truly want and need to do? Or is it a need that's been forced upon us by seeing models on Instagram and just feeling inadequate? So for the month of April, my free download for my listeners is a journal page with the 4 essential questions that you need to ask yourself in order to stay motivated towards your fitness goals. And if you need a little daily reminder, I've also created a graphic that will help you stay focused on your goals every time you see it. So you can download them both and save the motivational reminder to your phone below the screen. Also, as an added bonus, I'll personally follow each and every person who downloads the motivation